still technically it's a fanboy and we want to know how to use it. And the other reason why it's a little bit funky is that this is the only fanboy that if you use it, you have to slightly adjust the wording of your sentence. So say I have these two sentences, I don't like Maroon 5, I do not like Keith Urban. What if I wanted to combine them into one sentence using nor? Yes?
I don't like Maroon 5 or Keith Urban.
So or is different than nor.
Oh.
Two different words. Jordan.
I think there's two ways you can do it. I don't like Maroon 5 nor Keith Urban, or you do, I don't like Maroon 5 nor do I like Keith Urban.
Yes, and that second one is the one that we're going to practice. I don't like Maroon 5, comma, nor do I like Keith Urban. Now, if you do it this way with the do I like, then we still use the comma because this is still considered the full sentence, even though you have to kind of like shift the words around a little bit. So when you have a nor, you change the I do not like to nor do I like Keith Urban, because the nor has the negative within it, so you wouldn't have to say not again. Yeah.
How about adding neither to it, picking up that don't and neither to it, but it's still a sentence that has nor in it.
So I like neither Maroon 5 nor Keith Urban. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, that would totally work. That would totally stand as a sentence. However, the only thing that changes is that we don't have this sentence fanboy sentence structure anymore. And we have a slightly different sentence structure. So if you wrote that in your essay, totally good, totally fine sentence. But for the purposes of your workbook exercises, it will want this pattern right here. Other questions? Okay. But and yet are completely interchangeable. Just depends which one you feel sounds good in that particular sentence. So their logical relationship is contrast, some sort of difference. Yet is commonly used if the contrasting sentence or idea is surprising or unexpected. However, that's just sort of a style guideline. It's really up to you which one you want to use. I love split pea soup. I don't like peas. So, why would but or yet be an appropriate fanboy to join these two sentences together?
It's because you're kind of saying, like, you're saying you like something, but you don't like the other thing, meaning like you're comparing the thing that you had just talked about, and that's why you're using yet or but.
Both the sentences, they're in contrast to each other. So, I mean, that's why you use but or yet.
Yeah, Jordan, did you want to?
Comparing and contrasting two different subjects.
Right,
Very
and it's,
similar.
yes, good. And it's also kind of surprising, right? Like, that you would like split pea soup, which is made of peas, but then you wouldn't like just plain peas, right? So that's another kind of situation where we've got the surprising or unexpected contrast going on. So it would work really well to say, I love split pea soup, yet I don't like peas. Or if you'd rather use the but, also fine. But the important part is you have sentence 1, comma, fanboy, and then sentence 2. And you're not dropping off that subject, you're not changing the verb, you're just combining them together with that comma between them. And then or, so this is the ones I watched that you said on the last one, or indicates alternatives. You can give the dude his rug back, comma, or he will take it. Raise your hand if you get this reference. Some semesters, no one gets it. So we're indicating alternatives using the sentence, comma, fanboy sentence format. And that is it. Any questions? Yes.
For example, let's say I have a sentence, I like chocolates, let's say donuts and burgers.
Ah, okay.
So, do we have to put a comma before the and? Right.
All of it has to be.
Excellent question. Is this too faint to see in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can rewrite it with a better pen. Let's see. Okay.
Could be the light one too.
Yeah.
Are
in
we
fact,
done with the slides?
We are done with that, so okay, can you get the lights first, and I'll write it over here. Can everybody see this over here?
I don't know.
I like chocolate, donuts, and what was the last one?
Burgers.
Burgers, all good things. And your question is about this comma right here, right?
Right.
Okay, does anyone know the answer to this? Yeah, everyone.
Isn't like preference?
Yeah, this comma is so disputed in the English language that it actually has a name. Does anybody remember what it is? Yeah,
Oxford
the Oxford comma.
Isn't there like a rule to that, if there's more than two, that their second one has to have a comma or something like that?
There is, yes, there's an idea of why this comma should be here or shouldn't be here, yeah.
I think it should be there because it's listing different things.
Okay.
But before the end.
So we're in a situation of a list, right? And we've learned since like elementary school that when you are listing a bunch of things, you indicate to your reader where one item stops and the other one begins by putting commas between them, right? It just makes sense. But a lot of people get to this last one and go, oh, well, it's obvious where donuts ends and burgers begins because the and takes the place of that comma, so we shouldn't have to have it there. But other people argue, okay, but if I don't have it there and it says chocolate, donuts, and burgers, it sounds like the donuts and the burgers are meant to be eaten together, right? That you have a donut in your burger somehow. And so other people say, no, like we have to have the comma there. So what it boils down to is basically like what style you're writing in. And by that I mean there are specific places like AP style, Associated Press style, like if you're a journalist, they don't want to have a comma there because they're most interested in saving space, right? You only have a certain number of words that you can submit for your article, for example, right? They're interested in typesetting and how all the articles fit together on a page. However, most of the time in MLA format, in sort of English papers and academia, we care a lot more about this clarity of meaning, that you're talking about chocolate, which is separate from donuts, which is separate from burgers. And so most of the time we do want that comma there. Yeah.
So like if I wanted to put together like, I like Sprite with fries and a burger, we don't have to put the comma there because fries and burgers tend to go together.
Yeah, and think about like how you actually phrase it too, because the way you phrased it like kind of told me that the fries and burger go together and the Sprite is just coming along, right? I like Sprite with my fries and burger. So here's a situation where we have a 2-item list, right? Like the 2 things that are on your plate at the same time, and we do not need a comma between them.
Oh, I meant like, I like Sprite's fries and burgers.
Okay.
That's what I meant, yeah. And fries and burgers usually go together, or burgers and fries, whichever way you wanna put it.
Yeah, so basically at this point, it's
I don't
up to
need it.
your discretion.
Right, okay.
Do you want to emphasize that the fries and burgers go together? Or do you want to make everything in the list equal on its own
Okay,
and
so
separate?
there's no set way for that then?
There's no set way across the board, but like in some situations, like if you're a journalist, for example,
Right,
they're going to
right.
tell you don't use it because
Yeah.
that's just our style. Yeah.
So it won't really hurt you like on the test or like on the homework or something like that.
I'm trying to remember when we get to lists.
Like with Megan and Marcus.
I'm going to say in this class, I would prefer you to use the Oxford comma unless there's a style choice like this that you're like, no, I do want to emphasize it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But on an essay, I don't think I would mark it wrong. I wouldn't.
Even if you go over your 500.
Even if you go with 5 minutes. Okay, other grammar questions? Questions about this unit or this topic? Okay, so we have 15 minutes till break. What I want you to do is go out into lab, and then if you recall that plagiarism PowerPoint that we went over last time in class,